What a win for the San Francisco 49ers. This goes down as one of Kyle Shanahan's best wins of his career against all odds. The 49ers go on the road to Philadelphia, and they beat the Eagles in the wild card round. At some point this week, the Niners were 6-point underdogs, and I thought that line was always pretty high, but the Niners pull this game out after dealing once again with so much adversity, and somehow they pull off the stunner thus far of the NFL playoffs. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. As always, no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making our post-game reaction show a part of your evening. And let's talk about it right now. And anytime that I am wrong, I'm always going to take accountability. I'm always going to eat the crow, and I'm always going to admit when I had a misstep or when I was wrong. I didn't think the Niners were going to win this game, and it wasn't a shot at the fan base. It wasn't a shot at the 49ers. They were on the road. They didn't have the rest advantage. The Eagles were the healthier team. They were the much better and deeper team, but today was a classic example of why Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the NFL. How this Niners team is one of the most well-run organizations in the sport. And what a job by Robert Saleh as well. This was a great example of the Niners elevating their roster as a coaching staff and thoroughly out-coaching Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had all that talent, all for naught, because the Niners persevered, they remained tough, they were resilient, and what has been a Cinderella season all year long for San Francisco continues as the Niners will get another crack at the Seattle Seahawks next week in the divisional round in Seattle. With the Seahawks coming off the bye, the number one seeded Seahawks await the Niners in what is going to be another installment of this NFC West rivalry. The 49ers won this game with their 5th, 6th, and 7th linebackers on the roster. The 49ers won this game and outgained Philadelphia 361 to 307 without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner, without Brandon Ayuk. Screw you. And they lost George Kittle early in this game with a torn Achilles. He is out for the year, and obviously he's going to be out for much of next year, you would imagine. And since we're on that topic, devastating injury for George Kittle. He tried to fight through a tackle. He planted that right foot. The Achilles gave out. You saw the ripple in the calf. He went down immediately. The cart came out. And to cheers from Eagles fans, you could hear it on the broadcast. Kittle gave some claps back, but you could tell how much that injury impacted him and how it impacted the team. It took the air out of the team for a moment. Kyle Shanahan saying after the game that the Niners were depressed. But they did what they have done all season long. Scratched, clawed, fought. The intestinal fortitude and the mental toughness of this football team really is crazy. And you think about some of the top wins under Kyle Shanahan. Coming back from down multiple scores against the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game is definitely up there, especially given the moment, right? Going on the road in 2021 in the wild card round, beating the Dallas Cowboys, huge victory. Going on the road the following week as 6-point underdogs against the MVP and Aaron Rodgers, the number one seeded Green Bay Packers, as the snow was coming down. A great victory. And I would say that Packers win probably better than this one. That Lions win better than this one because it got you to the Super Bowl. But this was just an absolutely phenomenal win for head coach Kyle Shanahan and this entire Niners team. You know what they also had to overcome and persevere through? Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions in this game. 2 great plays made by the first-team All-Pro in Quinyon Mitchell. But the Eagles only scored 3 points off those 2 turnovers. Christian McCaffrey had over 100 yards all-purpose in this game. He really had to fight hard because there was nothing there on the ground. And I know Purdy turned it over a couple of times. Against that defense, you lose your right-hand man in George Kittle. Despite those 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy on the opening drive, what a throw to Demarcus Robinson for that 61-yarder. Then he found D-Rob for that touchdown. Later in the game, what ended up being the game-winning score. This is why you pay your franchise quarterback. Purdy stepped up in the pocket as the pocket cratered, found Christian McCaffrey for that screen pass. So 2 picks, bad. 2 touchdowns, pretty epic. And epic, a great word to describe this 49ers victory. One of the touchdowns that the Niners got in this game, a trick play on a handoff to Sky Moore, a pitch to Jawan Jennings, who is a highly touted high school quarterback recruit, who rolled to his right and threw it downfield to Christian McCaffrey, who Willie Mays style caught that ball for a score. And that kind of took the life out of the stadium. The Niners did a good job of silencing that raucous crowd, which was ready to go right from the jump. And what did the Niners do? March right down the field on the first drive of the game. And there were opportunities for the Eagles to grab this game by the neck and to take it. They could never do it. And to the Niners' credit, they hung in there and kept this game close, and then they were able to strike late. Just a great win for this fan base. There's obviously a ceiling on this Niners team for what they can accomplish this year, because that's the reality when you lose so many star players and your defense is so banged up. But to just win a playoff game in that atmosphere against the defending Super Bowl champions, that is so big time. And I am so impressed by what the Niners did here today, and happy to admit I was wrong with my prediction. Can't get them all right. Now let's get to our sponsor, the 49ers Report, sponsored by Polymarket. It's time to challenge the status quo. Polymarket is now live to help us do so. You could be a part of the revolutionary alternative to sportsbooks with our special invite code. Download Polymarket's new app now via the link that is in the description and comments to unlock exclusive early access and a free $10 in your account with the invite code chat. Polymarket is a prediction marketplace that lets you make trades on the outcomes of sporting events. As you can see here, you can even buy and sell within a game with live trading. Polymarket has the lowest fees ever. You trade against other people, not the platform. You can cash out anytime and react to momentum swings within the game. You're in control. It's legal and available nationwide in all 50 states on their iOS app. Now, we do have a Monday night football game to round out the NFL playoffs, the wild card round. Houston on the road against Pittsburgh. Polymarket is giving the Texans a 59% chance of winning that game. Pittsburgh at 43%. So $10 free waiting for you. No card, no deposit, nothing. Download the app with our exclusive code chat at chatsports.com/polymarket for exclusive early access and $10 free. One defensive takeaway that I had in this game is that Robert Saleh did not respect Jalen Hurts or the Eagles' offense at all. He blitzed Hurts a lot. He disguised a lot of coverages. It's not like he did anything that was overly creative or crazy. He relied on his guys to win. They limited the big plays. They did give up more than 100 yards to Saquon Barkley, and they didn't force a turnover in this game, but the Eagles just kind of self-cannibalized in this game. The Eagles scored 19 points with the NFL's most expensive offense. They mustered 119 yards total in the second half. You want to talk about a phenomenal coaching effort by Robert Saleh? That's exactly what that was. And I've been saying all year, Saleh has done a great job making chicken salad out of chicken shit. And that's exactly what he did in this type of game. He formed the clay to the best of his ability with what was given to him, and he put it in the kettle, and it turned out to be a masterpiece. Saquon Barkley had just 35 rushing yards on 11 carries in the second half after the Eagles found success on the ground in that first half. Jalen Hurts, 9 of 19 for 75 yards in the second half. The Eagles, 2 of 9 on third down in that second half. The Niners got off the field consistently, and they kept giving their offense chances. And when you do that, you could sense that the Eagles were starting to feel the pressure a little bit. And as part of them self-cannibalizing, you had Nick Sirianni arguing with A.J. Brown on the sideline. A.J. Brown had a big drop. Saquon Barkley had a big drop. Devontae Smith had a big drop. Massive, massive moments in that game. And you just can't say enough about what the Niners have done this year. Kyle Shanahan on that trick play touchdown, he said it's called Sky Bang Reverse Pass. Last time we called it was a Debo Bang Reverse Pass. We ran it in New Orleans when Emmanuel Sanders threw it to Raheem Mostert. How about that history there for the 49ers? Kyle Shanahan also said it's not a very high chance that Fred Warner will be able to play this week and have his practice window opened up. And we could spend a couple moments talking about the Seattle game. We know their defense is superb. We know that they're coming off that rest week. They had the rest advantage. They had the health advantage. They have the defensive advantage. Their offense isn't great. The Niners are going to have to do in Seattle what they did against the Rams. Pull out all the stops. What they did in this game against Philadelphia. They're going to have to play much better offensively than they did in Week 18. Much better offensively than they did even in this game to just have a fighting chance. But when you play a team for a third time, it's hard to beat a team twice, and you know the team very, very well. The ins and outs, and hopefully the Niners can figure out what they did poorly against Seattle in Week 18 to try to come out with the victory in this one and correct some of their mistakes. And you can tell with what Kyle Shanahan has said after the game, he knows this is a special victory. The Niners also lost Jair Brown in this game. Marquise Siegel had to come in and play. He played really well. Eric Kendricks, he was just picked up late November. He played well. Garrett Wallow. Who? Yes, Garrett Wallow played pretty good at the linebacker spot for the Niners in this game. No Kittle, no Warner, no Bosa, no Ayuk, no Pearsall, no D. Winters, no Tatum Bethune. Niners come out with a victory. Niner fans are going to remember this one, and you should celebrate it for a really, really long time. Special. All right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Niners season continues. Great coverage coming up this week in the lead up to this Seahawks game. Who you got? SF for the Niners, SEA for Seattle. Are you rocking with San Francisco? Does the run continue? Could the Niners make it to the NFC Championship game? They're one game away from doing that. And then the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium.